Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, and that means it's time for Casey's Truth Bomb Tuesday. Today is episode 5, and today's topic is going to be something that I think needs to be educated because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I learned this misinformation I've known for years, but sugar. And what makes refined sugar different than fruit sugar and how your body processes it differently. One's really good for you and heals you, and one causes all kind of bad stuff. So, shall we begin? All right, there are many things that sugar comes in the form of. I'm going to list a list of all the names that sugar comes under and is, labeled as. Okay, agave nectar, beet sugar, brown rice syrup, brown sugar, cane sugar, coconut palm sugar, corn syrup, dehydrated cane juice, dextrin, dextrose, evaporated cane sugar, fructose, high fructose corn syrup. That's a whole nother video. Honey, maltodextrin, malt syrup, maple syrup, molasses, palm sugar, raw sugar, sorghum, sucrose, sucralose, syrup, and turbinado sugar. So if you see any of those ingredients in your food or in your labels, it's got sugar in it that's added. There is one sugar that is in there, fructose and dextrose. Those two are fruit as well, but they've man-made it as well to make it into the refined variety that's no good. And honey is actually beneficial, such as fruit. So we're going to get into what refined sugar does to the human body. Now, refined sugar has been processed, heated, changed, manipulated, done so many things to. It might have started out as a plant, but it is not anymore, and they've taken all the nutrients, the enzymes, the minerals, the antioxidants, everything's gone. There is nothing left in it but glucose. Well, it can be in many different forms. Refined sugar is made into so many different varieties, but your body breaks down all sugar into glucose. That's fine, that's well known. Well, refined sugar, when it's broken down by your body, it can cause weight gain. Sugary drinks is mostly fructose, and people who drink sugary drinks weigh more than people who don't. And the sugary drinks and such leads to the visceral fat accumulation, which leads to the heart disease and the internal organ problems. It's increased risk of heart disease. Evidence shows that a high sugar diet leads to obesity, inflammation, high triglycerides, high blood sugar, and blood pressure, and they all lead to heart disease. Simple. Did you know just one 16-ounce soda contains 52 grams of sugar? One soda a day. And that is over 10% of an average 2,000 calorie diet from sugar, with no nutrition, no anything. So do you see where it causes the weight gain and the high problems in our bodies? It has also been linked to acne. Sugary foods quickly spike blood sugar and insulin levels, causing increased androgen secretion, oil production, and inflammation. And all of those help feed acne breakouts. And they've done population studies showing that rural communities that consume traditional non-processed foods have almost non-existent rates of acne compared to urban high-income areas, which has more acne. There goes a natural diet yet again. You have an increased risk of diabetes. Your cancer risk is increased dramatically. Look into what sugar feeds cancer. Your risk of depression, because it really messes with your brain. It causes a lot of problems in your brain. It accelerates the aging of your skin. And it can contribute to a fatty liver. One second. Okay, this is something that I learned a few years ago that really blew my mind. Now, you know that feeling when you get after you eat a candy bar or whatever, you feel great, you feel on top of the world, whatever, dessert is amazing. That's because it's like you just did some heroin or some cocaine. It affects your brain in the same way that those illegal, illicit narcotic drugs do. They are more addictive. The sugar is more addictive than those substances. Yet it's readily available and it's socially acceptable. Shouldn't be a problem. Just eat that cupcake and all will be well in the world. I will feel better for a little bit, because one of the downfalls is it actually causes your blood sugar to spike, which is when you feel good, and then it tanks because it's just empty calories with no nutrition, no fiber, no anything. It's just sugar. It causes decreased cognition, and high sugar levels and diets may impair normal brain function. It causes tension, and this is what I talked about. When you're reaching for that sugary treat to increase your energy, it actually zaps your energy, increases the tension later. You're just putting it off. Whereas if you were to grab a 10-minute walk or a piece of fruit instead of, you wouldn't get that spike. You'd be more level off because the fruit actually has nutrition in it. And depression. Studies in 6 countries have reviewed and determined higher rates of sugar consumption with higher rates of depression. Pretty scary stuff. Yet there's so many people depressed out there. I wonder how many eat to make themselves feel better when in actuality it's causing more trouble. So many people, when I went raw, they decided, how are you eating all that fruit? That sugar is really bad for you. Well, when I did that diet, I ate probably 85% fruit. I lost 20 pounds. I felt better than ever. I'm still eating a lot of fruit, and I'm still vegan. But the difference between fruit, raw fruit, and that refined stuff is the fruit contains a mix of fructose, sucrose, and glucose. Refined sugars can come in many forms. Fruit sugar breaks down as glucose, but it contains a host of other nutrients, minerals, vitamins, antioxidants, enzymes, which lower inflammation, lower risk of diseases, and added sugar contributes fiber to your diet, and that slows the rate of absorption of the sugar. Refined sugar has no nutrients. It just spikes your blood sugar. It adds to inflammation and disease. Fruits are extremely nutrient-dense foods. Like, they're a meal on the go. Just grab it and go. And you can do really well with that. One study shows 65,226 adults who consumed 7 servings of fruit a day had significantly lower risk of mortality compared to those with minimal or no fruit. Low fruit consumption is considered to be the 5th leading contributor to the global disease burden. Low fruit consumption is number 5 in the cause of the global disease burden. Do you hear me? After high blood pressure, smoking, alcohol use, and household air pollution. That's yet another Tuesday. Adding fruit to your diet actually reduces chances of obesity by over 24%. You know why? Because you're cutting out the other stuff and you're replacing it with nutrition that your body feeds off of, fiber to help things go and do what they're supposed to do, and the micronutrients that we also need. There was something else I wanted to say, but I pretty much got it. So that is my Truth Bomb Tuesday on the difference in refined sugar and fruit sugar, because they are different. One will heal you and one will harm you. Again, go with nature. Nature's all, oh, I remember what it was. Excuse me. Fruit juice. I hear so many people, they drink, I drink juice. It's organic. It's heat treated and processed, and it affects your body the exact same way as the refined sugar, because all it basically is fruit flavored sugar. There's no nutrients. They've filtered it. There's nothing. They actually add ascorbic acid usually back to some juices to give it vitamin C, because everything's been taken out of it. Way different than if I take an apple and juice it at home. So, the more you know. Have a wonderful night. God bless y'all, and thanks for watching.